As the SCO summit is about to begin, Prime Minister Modi's very important, crucial visit to China, the first since the Galwan clash, I am in conversation with two men who probably best understand the India-China relationship in the last 3 decades. They have seen the rise of the people-to-people connect between the two countries, the downturn that the relationship saw, and are also now very closely linked to how the program is likely to shape up for the Prime Minister here in Tianjin. Thank you so much, both of you, for speaking to NDTV. And as we await the Prime Minister's visit here, and there's a lot lined up, let me first start by asking you, both of you, that you've been here for about 25-30 years, both of you, right? In terms of your assessment and your experience, Mr. Pastakia, let me start with you. How do you see the progress that has taken place in the India-China relationship and the time that you've spent here? Help us understand how it's been like.
In the beginning, if you look at it, since I started from the time when I have been here, that's in 1991. At that time, the biggest difficulty was the understanding. The people-to-people relationship can start after you understand each other. So it took quite some time to understand each other for some time, and then once the understanding came in, then the movement was much faster.
Yes. What about you, Mr. Puri? You've also been here for about 30 years, 25 years. How have you seen this journey evolve? And also I'm going to touch upon the PM factor for both of you in just a bit. Both of you know Prime Minister since his Chief Minister days. I'm going to come to that in a bit. But first, your assessment of how things have changed, and also the downturn that the relationship saw in the last 5-6 years. You know, when we saw the phase where visas were not being given, people-to-people connected suddenly crashed almost, you know. How was that experience from somebody who's an Indian living in China with deep business interests here?
Yeah, no. The important thing to understand is that we have come a long way in the relationship between the two countries on all aspects, on people-to-people contacts, on business industry, on cultural issues. We have come a long way. But the interesting thing is that it has always been too less than potential. In 2001, 2002, we were talking about $100 billion, $200 billion business of Japan and USA with China, where India was $2.5 billion. So I remember that in 2003, when I was talking to media, Mr. Rajiv Sardesai was interviewing me, and I told him this is nothing what India and China are doing. $5 billion is nothing that we're talking about. Because the potential is $100 billion.
It's crossed that now.
Yes, now we are crossed $100 billion. But then the potential is now $500 billion. So we are improving a lot. But then we are far behind the real potential between these two countries.
Okay, so viewers, the other important connect for the two gentlemen here is also the fact that both of them do know Prime Minister Modi since his Gujarat Chief Minister days, and that's another very important aspect that I want to bring that out to you. Mr. Puri, let me start with you. You have photographs of knowing him, being part of the CM's, when the PM was the CM that time, in terms of his regular visits here, how he was looking at the kind of industrialization that China was going through in the early 2000s. Walk us through, and why don't you show some of those pictures that you have?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. These pictures are from Suzlon factory inauguration in 2006.
Okay.
And I had the privilege of hosting Mr. Modi for that program. And he was very keen on, all this Gujarat investment program and all the initiatives. He was quite inspired by the way China was going. And he did a lot of work on that. This factory inauguration, he was very happy, and he once told me that you are bringing the Gujarat investment to China. Why don't you bring the Chinese investment to Gujarat? And I said, we'll definitely try to do that. But we keep the pace the way China does, and there's no reason why it should not come.
Yeah, so I think Vibrant Gujarat, or the first investor summit actually in India, came from Gujarat, and I think a lot of that has to do with these visits. Yes. Specifically, why don't you walk us through this particular picture that you have in front of your hands? Yeah.
Sure. These.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yes.
These are the pictures of Mr. Modi coming at the time of
just one is enough. Yeah,
inauguration.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of discussion on China-India economy, and he was very keen on growing rapidly in Gujarat and in all over India of the way China was progressing.
Okay.
And I think Indian investments have come well, FDI in India, but then it is not again to the potential.
A lot more that can happen.
Yes,
yeah.
lot more that can be done.
Mr. Pastakia, you have about a dozen odd restaurants in India, in Beijing itself, Indian restaurants. They were even more, and you look at culinary as a very important aspect. Right. Tell us how your business has grown and also the appetite that people have for Indian cuisine here. How has that changed and grown in the last 2 decades?
Very well, actually, because like I said in the beginning, the understanding was a factor which took some time. The same way with the food. The food is where people try to understand a new culture. In the beginning, when we started our restaurants, at that time, the clientele that we had was mainly expats who would be living in Beijing. And earlier, there were a lot of foreigners who were involved. Thanks to the Olympics, which was coming up in 2008. So before that, to the run-up of the Olympics, we could see a lot of foreigners there. So most of our clientele at that time was foreigners, and very few Chinese would be.
Has that changed now? Do you have a lot more Chinese people enjoying Indian food here?
Very much. It's the other way around now. Now we have more of the local Chinese who are enjoying the Indian food, and of course we still have our foreign clientele also. Mm-hmm.
And you're also somebody who's, as I said, the Chief Minister Connect, the PM Connect, I also want to bring out, which is, you mentioned about your connect being with him for so long. You're also somebody who's been sort of the person knowing the palate of the Prime Minister, isn't it? When he was the Chief Minister, then he used to visit your restaurants, and even now you're very closely involved with all that Prime Minister will be taking.
Yes, we had the honor of serving the Prime Minister in 2006 at our restaurant, and we are again very excited to do the same during this visit. In fact, in previous visits also we had the opportunity of serving the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I'm not going to ask you about the menus because that's also security detail, but I want to understand from you the fact that he's known to enjoy his Gujarati cuisine. Is that something that, any specific demands that come your way, or is that you already know what the Prime Minister likes?
Not necessarily. There are times when we present a menu and then he would like to choose something from that. It would be vegetarian for sure, and some Gujarati as well as a lot of Indian choices also.
Mm-hmm. All right. Final question I want to ask to both of you, which is that again, as people with the keen eye of how things have shaped up, what is your expectation out of this visit? Because, while there are some pluses, there are also deep concerns as well that remain. What are your expectations out of the meeting that will take place between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi?
See, our expectation is the same that was 3 decades ago, that these two countries have great, immense potential to come together and prosper. And if we don't understand this border dispute, because I understand that China has land frontier with 14 countries, okay, and 13 have been resolved. Why can't China resolve this too? Okay. And India also, it might mean both the sides, if the people at the helm, see, everybody has their own role to play. And I can't speak like a military general because they are doing their task very well, because they are doing their job. I can't speak like Dr. Jaishankar because he's doing his job very well.
Indeed. So that's true.
But like a business person,
you feel that more can be done.
People to people contact,
yeah.
I think we can do a lot.
Okay.
We can do a lot, and we will be always favoring doing that a lot.
What about you? What do you think in terms of your expectations? As I said, the stage is set for a meeting, but the stage is also set in the context and backdrop of a number of security concerns that remain, that haven't been addressed. So people to people, there is some progress, Mansarovar Yatra being one, the fact that there could be visas more, that could be another. As someone who's part of the cultural connect between India and China, what's your expectation?
I totally agree with Mr. Puri on the potential between the two countries. It has to be tapped as much as we can. Wherever we can work together, we should be working together. Like we talk about hardware and software, for example. Most of the hardware is available with China. Most of the software is available with India. So this is where the strengths are. The strengths and weaknesses can be worked together and bring out the best between the two countries. And for the people-to-people relationships and more coordination, we are very hopeful there'll be direct flights starting very soon. That should bring people closer together too.
So there are two sides, viewers, as you heard, in terms of the people-to-people connect that has already in fact increased and is likely to do so going forward as well, even as some concerns remain on ground. But here the two gentlemen are of the view, and in fact they are very closely linked to Prime Minister Modi's keen journey with regard to China in the last 20 odd years from his Gujarat Chief Minister days, and these insights, these perspectives help us better understand the context, the setting, and also probably temper our expectations as well. In Tianjin for NDTV, this is Gaurie Dwivedi.